Hello there, this is Young Money, and today I'm going to be talking about something really cool, one of my favorite topics, alright? Effective time management, tips and tools, how to organize your life and be more productive this week. And you can see right up here what the topic is. It's called making lists, alright? Now, this is actually one of my biggest obsessions. In fact, I use my Galaxy smartphone all the time to make crazy lists, and today I actually made two different lists of what I wanted to talk to you about today. And in fact, let me go ahead and show you a bunch more. I literally have thousands and thousands of these lists, and you can see just me scrolling through lists and lists, a list of lists, and listing all these stuffs. Yeah, it's kind of an obsession. Now, it's really good to make lists. It doesn't even matter if you don't even go through the list. Just getting your ideas out into a list is better than not. Okay, so let's just talk today about what types of lists you can make. Okay, so I made a little list here. One of the lists that you can make is like guitar lesson topics. That's what I teach, is guitar. You can make a list of rhyming words. You can make a list of links, a list of headlines, a list of bullet points on your sales page. You can make a list of like before and after concepts, before and after pictures. A list of prices if you're selling some products or something. A list of marketing techniques. A list of action steps. A list of places to go. A list of email lists, names, dates, and computer files. You go on your computers, lists of computer files. So you want to be making lists. All right, every single day I want you to make a list. It doesn't matter what list it is. I just want you to make a list of something. Okay, so let me list out the benefits of why you want to be making these lists. Sorry, my hands are a little greasy. I just had some pizza. So one of the reasons why you want to make a list is it's a framework or a skeleton. So if you're writing an article or making a video or something, you want to be able to organize your thoughts ahead of time in a list, and then you want to be able to just kind of go through the list and talk about each one of the topics separately. So if you're just writing an article on your computer and you just start typing it out and you don't have any kind of outline, you can usually start to ramble on about stuff and or get disorganized or forget topics and all that stuff. So you want to have a list ahead of time. It's like a little framework. It's like a skeleton. It's like a growing into the body of your list. So that's really powerful. The second really good benefit here is that it's massive quantity, massive amounts of stuff. You can get massive amounts of just stuff and content, just stuff a crap load of content into a very small space, and that's the benefit of a list. This is just 2 or 3 words, and then you go on to the next concept. So there's tons of ideas just stuffed in a small space, and that's really powerful. Because otherwise, if you have to read through a book, something like this, or a textbook, how long is it going to take you to read through this book, and how many ideas are you really going to be able to use immediately just by seeing this book? You have to read through the whole thing. It's going to take hours and hours or days or something like that. So you want to have a list so that you can get through the entire amount of content in a short period of time. The next thing is that this is basically ideas at your fingertips. So if you're sort of stressed for ideas and you don't know what to do or what to think about, like today, I made a list of money-making tips. Now I've got this page 1, page 2, and page 3. In fact, I think I'm even on page 4 of all these different ideas and topics that I can make videos about. Alright, so I just made 4 pages of video topics, and now I just got tons and tons of ideas, and making lists was probably one of the best ideas. It's pretty silly stuff. It's mostly common sense, but you'd be surprised. So ideas at your fingertips. You can immediately just kind of look at your list and pull out one of those ideas and just do it. Okay, or just start writing about it or start thinking about it. The next thing is that this is kind of like, well, it is action steps. Action steps. So you can make an order of your list. You can organize it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get those action steps down. Just action 1, action 2, action 3. So you can just go straight down the list and immediately just start knocking off stuff to do. Okay, so it's action steps. Very, very powerful concept. Okay, so if you know a lot, you read a lot, you study a lot, but you don't really take much action, then making lists is going to really help you to start taking actions. The next thing, it's a way to brainstorm. Brainstorming. Because see, you want a good way to take all of your ideas that are in your head and put them on paper. You want a really good way to do that. And some people make mind maps, but I think it takes a little bit too much time and making the big circle and then like the other circles and stuff. That's okay, but it takes up a lot of space and it's not super organized. And if you make a list, like, this is really organized, It's like the name of the list and what's on the list. And then you can take each one of these things and make a list off of them. So you can just keep on making lists in a very short space. Alright, so you can do this on your phone. It was really powerful. It's a really great way to brainstorm your ideas. The next thing is that you can actually organize the thoughts. Alright, so after you make the list, you can go back and especially if you're doing on a digital stuff, you can actually just kind of move it around. You can move the list around from the middle, you put it up to the top. You can just organize it in terms of difficulty, in terms of action steps, in terms of all these different criteria of when it happened, when you need to do it. You make it like the shortest stuff at the top, the longest ones at the bottom. You can organize this and make it look nice for your own sort of viewing purposes. You can organize your thoughts. So that's really powerful. And the very last thing here that I have for you is that it's kind of like positive pressure. Okay? Now, you need to understand that it doesn't even matter if you don't take action on the list immediately. Because it's going to be sitting on your phone, it's going to be sitting in your back pocket, and then you're going to be able to sort of pull it out, reference it, look at it, put it back in, and just kind of think about it for a while. And then eventually you're going to be like, man, keep pulling it out, keep looking at it, you're like, dude, some positive pressure, right? It's like, oh, I got some stuff I should do, and it's not overwhelming because it's just on a list. It's just in a tiny little thing that says to do all this stuff. It's not overwhelming. It's not like a big big book, big notebook that's like this big, all these different pages and stuff. It's just a tiny little list, okay? So it's positive pressure that's going to take you to take more action, all right? So these are the benefits of making lists, and I just want to ask you a couple of questions. How many lists have you made this week? My guess is you probably haven't made any lists. Or maybe you make a list of to-do things during the day. Now the problem is to making a to-do checklist is that generally most of the stuff on your list is going to be somewhat irrelevant. If you make a list of like, oh, I gotta do laundry today, or I gotta like clean my room, or I gotta take the car to the repair shop, it's weird stuff like that. That stuff is not good list material. You don't want to make a list of to-do things to do today. Alright, if you're doing that kind of stuff, that means you're actually anti-productive. You do not want to make a list of to-do things to do during the day. You want to make a list of high-quality, stage, category 2 type. And we'll talk about categories, and we'll talk about, why making a to-do list is not good in a different video. We're going to talk about category 2 type, category 2 type lists, and not to-do checklists. So those are the two types of lists you don't want to make. Alright, so let me ask you again. How many lists have you made today? A list of marketing techniques, a list of places to go, a list of action steps that you need to take, a list of important ideas, a list of topics to teach, a list of websites to visit, a list of important topics. And second is, how many lists have you seen this week or even today? How many lists have you seen? You look on your computer, there's a list. You look on Facebook, there's a list of posts. You look everywhere, there's a list of names on Facebook. There's a list everywhere, man. It's lists everywhere, dude. And I just realized recently that lists are the key to life, man. Lists are the key. Alright, so I'm a little crazy, but believe me, man, lists are the key. Making lists, man. Alright, anyway, the third question is, have you taken any action on these lists? I use these lists to take action. I make sure that I just pull out one of those things and just take action on it. So, have you made any lists? How many lists have you seen? And how much action have you taken on your lists? We're going to answer those questions. And if you don't take much action, if you're not an action taker, then that means that all you need to do is take small steps forward. And what you need is a coach and a mentor that'll help you through that. So one of the best coaching programs that I've taken for internet marketing and online business was actually the Affiliate Bootcamp by Russell Brunson, okay? And this is just one single day at a time. He takes you very small action steps. Day 1, you do this small little action step. Day 2, you take a small little action step. Day 3, a small little, it takes literally 5 to 10 minutes to do each one of these things. So you need something like that if you want to be able to take massive action in a short period of time. You take small steps, okay? So the link to the Affiliate Bootcamp is right down below this video. I hope you sign up and check it out because it's actually 100% free, okay? So I'll see you around. Young Money out.